Hello, and welcome everybody. This is Philip Cargom, and this is Tea with the Druid, brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids. It's good to be with you. I don't know why the screen is limited in this way. Dave and Kerry, thank you very much, Dave and Kerry, for doing the Tea with the Druid last week, and they've changed the settings, and I can't work out how to get them back. So that doesn't matter. I'll sort it out. Good to be with you, and lovely to see people arriving from North Carolina and the Nantahala Forest, Derbyshire, Gateshead, California, Mexico, and Sweden, Washington State, Bromley, Southern Gulf Islands, Ripon, the Netherlands, Brisbane. So West Virginia, Cote Granite Rose. Wow, where's that? Costa Rica. Lovely. So isn't that lovely to Chile, Sligo, all over the west coast of Ireland, Costa Rica, Mexico. Welcome everybody. It's really wonderful to see you here. And as we gather together in the circle, let's just allow ourselves the time, that lovely feeling of becoming settled as we settle in for about half an hour of some peaceful exchanges and meditation. And at the same time, that slight sense of excitement, because so many different strands, each of us is bringing a gift with us. If we're in Costa Rica, there's a particular kind of quality, energy that will be expressing itself through us. If we're from Devon or New Jersey or Chile, Charlton in London, we'll be bringing something else, a different gift to the table. So let's enjoy that feeling of excitement and of being able to just sit down and rest for a bit and tune in and ask yourself how you're feeling. And then just let a word bubble up. You might be feeling different in a minute or two, but right now you are feeling, and then type it in. It'd be great to hear from you. It'd be really lovely to hear from you. And grateful to be with you following spinal surgery. Healing is precious. Gosh, Terry, yes. Well, I'm glad you're here and you're at the other side, as it were. Very relaxed from cause. Happy, disorganized, chilled, calm, unsettled, swamped with work, serene, gently relaxed, rested, quiet, a little bit tired but good, fatigued but joyful, busy, surprisingly happy, clear, autumnal, burnt out, content, grateful, warmly included. Going so fast. Sorry, it's going so fast. Surprisingly calm, exhausted, overwhelmed, exhausted, sad at selling a home that's been in the family for 90 years. Gosh, reflective, pedaling, supported, forging forwards, part of, contented, relaxed, positive anticipation, relaxed, really tired, also recovering from an operation, gallbladder operation. So again, good to know you're out on the other side of that, warm and open, trying to relax, but feeling nervous like I could explode. Clearer thinking ahead, filled with love. Very tired. what a fantastic range of experiences. And a couple of people expressed being surprised by how they were feeling, which is nice as well. That can sometimes take us by surprise when we kind of just settle and take a breath and tune in. We can be surprised, not feeling restless. So, yes. So, John King, wondering how I got this old. I know the feeling, John. So lovely to be with you. And I rather melodramatically entitled this this tea, Regret, Longing, Nostalgia, and Melancholy. What I was just tuning into was, what should we discuss? What should we sort of explore gently together? And what I thought of was the time of year. It's always a good way into opening ourselves to the now, one of the great kind of invitations of spirituality. So it's a good way of doing that. It's a good way of following the Druid agenda of tuning into the moment, the seasons, somehow feeling how we relate to the passing of the wheel of the year. And so I thought I'd home in on a rather interesting fact that I've experienced over the years in talking with people. And apologies yet again for those in the Southern Hemisphere, because you're going into spring, so it's going to be feeling different for you. But going in the Northern Hemisphere, often people can experience a certain sort of sadness, a certain feeling of melancholia, nostalgia for the lovely summer. In Europe, we've had a lovely summer. I mean, a sort of worrying summer in one sense, because it was kind of too hot and too sunny, but it was glorious sunshine, for day after day after day. Whereas last year was very wet and summer didn't really seem to happen last year. So this year it was great. So there's some nostalgia for the summer, regret that perhaps we didn't do as much as we wanted to do, and perhaps a feeling of melancholy. And there's this trendy phrase now, lean into it. People talk about leaning into things, but it's quite a useful one in this context, because it suggests the way that rather than resisting how we're feeling, we lean into it, we allow it, which is sort of what we do at the beginning of the tea when we invite a reflection on how we're feeling. Instead of sort of pushing it out, I'm feeling fine, but actually you're feeling terrible or tired or miserable or whatever. You actually say it, you articulate it, and that helps you to open up, and things can start to shift at that moment. So in leaning into this feeling of melancholia, which can actually, I don't know whether you find this, but what I find is that it feels rather good. I'm adjusting my hair here. It feels rather good. There's a sort of rather delicious kind of nostalgia in it. The changing light. And of course, what we have to remember is that the light is affecting our hormonal system. So these seasonal changes are very real. They're not just sort of subjective passing associations that we make. The light is hitting our bodies and is changing the way our endocrinal system responds. And so in extreme cases, of course, as people go into the winter months, they can experience seasonal affective disorder, and they can start to have a kind of depression that can result from the lack of light in their system. So you buy these lights, you can have big lights that help you to feel different. So that's going on. But I think what's important to see within Druidry and within our working with the seasonal wheel, the cycle of the year, one of the things it's important to remember is that although we focus on these 8 particular times, the solstices and the equinoxes and the cross-quarter days, in fact, of course, the seasons are turning all the time, and there's a natural flow. And there's a real value in stopping at particular times to tune into that flow. But we also need to kind of just tune into the general flow and see And then there are patterns that we can discern within that flow. So one of the patterns that we are fond of in Druidry is that of triplicity, of the way things cluster in threes or have patterned in threes. And so here, if we look at how that's happening at this time of year, the harvest season is actually represented by 3 festivals: Lunasa or Lammas, the autumn equinox, and Samhain, which we're coming up to. So we've had the first harvest. The harvest began. So it was the 1st of August, and in that wonderfully kind of paradoxical way, ironic almost way that, oh, it's high summer, it's so hot and sunny and lovely. Oh, I can see combine harvesters moving across the fields. Already the autumn is starting to show its face a little bit, and we're moving into the harvest period, coming around to the autumn equinox that we've just passed, the second harvest when the fruits are picked, and then coming to the third harvest, Samhain, known as the blood harvest. It's blood harvest because in the old days they would slaughter animals at that time and salt the meat and so on to store it over the winter. And that's so we see this threefold manifestation of harvest at the pastoral level. And then if we also take on board the inner level, the psychological level, the spiritual level, what's happening? Well, ever since the summer solstice, as the tides started to turn and the days started to grow shorter, we've been going with the indrawing breath, if you like. The year breathes out from the winter solstice, out into the world of manifestation, into the spring equinox, down into the summer solstice. And now the breath is drawing inwards, coming in, returning to source. And in returning to source, there's a threshing, there's a letting go, which is why as you get older, you start to be less preoccupied with taking stuff or receiving stuff, and you start to let go. And so there's when people are kind of, not everybody does this, of course, but when people are kind of in the flow, you'll find that as they get older, they start to give stuff away, and they are less attached to accumulation and more to radiation in the good sense of the term, radiating out, giving, letting go, not holding on to stuff. You could almost say that part of the pathology of the world situation can be seen in terms of old people, usually men, let's face it, old men who won't let go and are trying to amass territory, amass power, amass control, when actually their bodies and the natural cycle is for them to be letting go. As you reach the end of your 70s, it's not supposed to be about amassing kudos and power for yourself. It's about empowering other people, giving instead of receiving. And so that's, I would suggest, is the energy we're kind of bathing in at the moment. We've been through 2 harvests. We've just gone past the autumnal equinox, and we're moving into the time towards the time of Samhain, the ultimate letting go. At a physical level, it's the letting go of the body. If it's not your time yet, then it's not letting go of the body. It's that wonderful offer that nature and the gods gives us to completely let go and surrender. And then there's that delicious time between Samhain and the winter solstice of around 42 days, where we can just be completely divested, as they say, and then reborn at the winter solstice. So that's a little kind of view of what I think is happening at this time of year, which can lead to feelings of if we're resisting the flow, to feelings of regret and nostalgia and melancholy and all the rest of it. But if we if we just do some kind of judo of the soul, of the mind, we can just allow it to say, oh, actually, this is rather beautiful. And then autumn becomes a beautiful time of letting go. So let's go into a meditation. I see there are lots of comments coming in, but I'll get there's so much to read there. I can't cope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's suggest we go into a meditation, and during that meditation, I'm going to read you a beautiful poem by a poet called Lorna Rose, and that will be our Eisteddfod section. The Eisteddfod is a festival of the arts. It's a time when there's song or poetry or music that we often place in the center of our ceremonies and our meditation. So let's do that. Let's just, and in the spirit of these sessions, let's not try hard at all. Don't even bother to concentrate. Just go with the flow. And if you feel moved to follow, do please follow. And if you don't feel moved, that's okay too. And you can just listen to this, which is that the invitation is to gently lower your gaze or close your eyes, to better concentrate on yourself, and also to perform that first act of magic, closing the eyes, suddenly changing the amount of information that's flowing into your cortex. And if you're familiar with doing this and sensitive, you'll be able to sense that kind of drop. It's almost like dropping more into yourself. Silence can do it. Lack of visual stimuli can do it. Both together, really powerful. Taking a slow, deep breath. Hold for a moment, and then breathe out fully and deeply. One more time. And as you do this, just call to mind in your memory the room that you're sitting in, walls around you, the ceiling above you, and the floor beneath you. See if you can sense the walls now. Can you really sense them, or are you just calling up a memory? Either way, it's fine. Of course, it could be a memory, or perhaps there's some subtle sense that enables you to actually feel the walls, the floor, and the ceiling. But either way, perhaps you can allow the imagination to have its play, and for you to sense the walls, the floor, the ceiling, just gently fading away as you find yourself in a forest clearing, in a sacred grove of the Druids. The trees are around you, the earth beneath you, sky above you. And there are about 300 people from all over the world, coming from every direction, have gathered. And there's room for everybody. And there's a lovely sense of homecoming. People are here from Costa Rica and Mexico and all sorts of countries, the Netherlands, England, America. Lots of people of similar mind, of like mind, coming together in this space now. There's a kind of gentle recognition. How lovely that we're all here. And you tune in now to the earth beneath you. Another deep breath in. Hold for a moment, and then as you breathe out, just allow your weight to drop even more onto the earth, just allowing this good earth to hold you and support you. And as you feel your weight on the earth, you also feel the way your energy body, of course, exists partly within the earth. Because if you're seated on the earth, your energy body is going down into it. And so in this way, your senses are attuned to the earth, and you can feel the richness of the soil, the presence of the creatures within the soil, all the microbial life, the mycelial life, the moisture, the rocks. And you feel the energy of the earth flowing into your being, bringing you a sense of stability and calm. A healing energy that gently distributes itself throughout your energy field, so that every cell of your body is bathed in the healing energy of the earth. And you become aware of the roots of the trees in the earth now, all around our sacred clearing, deep down in the earth. And you sense the way these roots are pulling moisture up through the roots, up the trunks of the trees. And it's as if your awareness follows the journey of this moisture, so you start to become aware of the trunks now, above the surface of the soil, and you sense the presence of these trees standing here tall, upright. There's a sense of dignity and majesty here, of integrity, of steadfastness. Steadfastness is a concept that is enshrined in the very word druid, from a Proto-Indo-European root, dru for tree, for an oak, but also for steadfastness and total connection or immersion. It's a very rich word, this syllable. And then id, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Proto-Indo-European, so you get the Vedas from this id early root as well. One with the wisdom of the trees, one with a knowledge of steadfastness, like these trees, strong, calm, stable. And you breathe in the energy of these trees, which they give so freely. They breathe out their oxygen and their aromas, their phenols and terpenes that you breathe in. And you breathe in the aroma of these trees and the energy of these trees. And you feel how these energies are cleansing and strengthening your aura. May I be as upright and as steadfast as these trees. May their strength inspire me. May I be rooted in the earth, rooted in the common sense orientation to life and to the world that gives me stature and maturity and dignity. And yet may I also reach upwards, just as the trees reach upwards with their branches and boughs. The leaves rustling in the breeze, the sky above, breathing in the energy of the sky now. And as you feel the energy of the sky flowing into you, you notice how different it feels to the energy of the earth. This sky energy vitalizes you, refreshes you, cleanses you, fills you with vitality and energy. Breathing in and out this sky energy. And the energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And being centered in your being now, your consciousness rests in this place effortlessly, Nothing to think, nothing to do. Just being here now. Now at this time of Eisteddfod. Forest by Lorna Rose. The horned god will soon be sacrificed for a good harvest, so all of this rushing purpose won't do. I must put life down and count all the magpie feathers that found me over summer. Drink homemade rosehip syrup. Stop striving, drown with silent wonder into all the colours of the night. Something innate in me remembers how to sing to the land, how to adorn my body with blue-woad spirals, throw my gold in the lake for the goddess's blessing, set the golden hair down and follow its lead, cease the endless moving and listen to the trees breathe. So I give up grand plans of pushing forward. Let the sap of my soul retract, and let the dead weight fall slowly. Marvel at its beauty, the reds of my rages, the oranges of my desire gleaming then fading, the bright yellows of my joys. A reminder that the sun is always rising somewhere. And allowing the colours and the images from this poem to just bless us, the reds and the oranges, the bright yellows, the reminder that the sun is always rising somewhere. And filled with that sense of colour and of rising sun, imagine now that you're placing your hands on the earth in front of you, and you place your palms on the ground, and you feel your love for the earth, and you ask that the earth might be blessed. And you sense your hands floating upward now to take the hand to either side of you, so that we are all connected in one great circle of light. And we feel the strength and the solidity of this circle, this community. And may this strength and this calm and this peace spread from this circle. May the land be blessed. May all of life be blessed. May peace prevail on earth. A gentle squeeze to the hand to either side of you. And sense now your hands moving towards your heart. Placing your hands on top of each other with your palm on your chest. May my life be blessed. May all lives be blessed. And in doing this, your awareness of the warmth of your hands flowing into your heart and then through your body gradually becomes stronger. You start to become more and more aware of your body, and your awareness of the sacred grove begins to fade gently from your awareness as you start to become aware of the four walls around you, the ceiling beneath you, the ceiling above you, and the floor beneath you. Deep breath in, breath out, and then when you're ready, feeling fully present here and now, when you're ready, you open your eyes to finish the meditation. So thank you so much. So let me give you the name of the poet from that beautiful poem and the links here. I'm going to post it in here. I'll put it in the show notes as well. So you'll see there's two URLs there. Yes, thank you, Lorna, for letting me read that poem. And yes, good. So bless you. Have a lovely week, and I'll see some of you in the Druid Hearth. If you're able to go in there, if you don't know the link, just go into the Druid Hearth and click the link if you're a member of the order, and I'll see you there. And otherwise, much love, and see you in a week's time. Okay, bye.